What's up, everyone? Lincoln Track from FloTrack, bringing you a special edition of our race breakdown series. Today, we are joined by none other than two-time Olympian Nick Symmonds. Nick, what's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Good to be back at the HQ.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Just tell the people why you're in Austin this week.
Yeah, so we come down here to Austin every single December for an event called the Running Event, and it's the biggest running-focused expo in the United States. We actually launched my company Run Gum here in 2014. So to come here every single December for the last 5 years and just be able to connect with that community really intimately at an expo, it's a really cool thing. And then also some of my favorite companies are based in Austin, so I get to check in with you guys once a year.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here, and right now, we want to take a look back of your previous life, as you would say, your time as a professional runner where you made your name. Today, we're going to look at a race, not the 800, where you're known as your bread and butter.
I'm glad you chose the mile.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of 8s out there. You guys can search those. They've recorded every single one I ever ran, I think. But the mile wasn't my bread and butter. I would run maybe 1 or 2 a year, and I always said, if I was coming down from altitude, if I'd just come off my base phase, there was about a week or 2 a year that I could crank a good mile. Yeah. And you guys caught me just in the right time here.
So this is early June of 2015. So the tail end of your career, but as would show later in the next coming weeks of the season, you still had some magic obviously left as you won USA's coming up, like we said, 3 weeks later.
I would say, I ran professionally for 12 years. This was my last great season. I was injured in 2014, was out the entire season. 2015 was really a rebuilding year. And this was just, every race before this had gone horrible. My coach was worried, Brooks was worried, I was worried. This was a chance for me to step on the track and say, I'm strong, I'm where I need to be, I just haven't sharpened up yet. I needed to run sub-4 in this race to really give me that confidence and that momentum going into USA's. I'd run the mile many times outdoors. I'd never broken 4 outdoors. I'd only done it once indoors. So this was Music City Distance Carnival, the race that actually launched my pro career way back in 2006 in the 800. Here I come back, what is that, almost 11 years later? Crazy how time flies by. 11 years later, the meet director gave me a chance to come out and run a mile against a very talented field.
All right, so let's get it started.
All right, so I've set it up. Can I pause it here?
Yeah.
So how do I draw, right? Just draw a little arrow? So I'm this big guy right here. So they called me the Bison. I'm a bigger, more muscularly 800-meter runner, and it actually worked pretty well for me in the half mile. I was explosive, trying to carry that mass for a mile. Not as comfortable, but I'm able to do it somewhat efficiently in this race. I kind of want to get off the line quick here, but I also want to settle in. I'm not trying to lead 1,609 meters.
Yeah, we'll drop that and we'll get this started.
We're off. Yeah.
One thing I do notice when watching this, in the 800, you're known so much for kicking late and kind of coming from behind, and that obviously is a product of racing guys like David Rudisha. It's hard to keep up with them. But here in this mile, you are
aggressive.
up there. Why is that?
So I think there's 2 ways to view a middle distance race. Some are tactical affairs. If it's tactical, I want to be lethal when it comes time to kick. This is very much a time trial. These are milers, and I'm just hoping that someone's able to basically carry me, to tow me around the track 4 laps. I don't care if I win this. I always, when I step on the track, I want to win. But my real primary objective here is proving fitness. And for me, that means breaking 4. Yeah. So I've got a couple Brooks athletes here in front. You can tell by the Brooks neon yellow that they've stuck with. I like that. We're right on pace here. Watching the mile on a 400-meter track can be a little deceptive in the sense that you bake in those first extra 9 meters in the first lap. So I'm really watching my pace as I come through here. I want it to be right around 60. The leader hit 60. I'm at 61. I'm very pleased with that.
And I want to go back to what you said at the top of the video, where there was some anxiety about your fitness. You mentioned that maybe the
first couple races didn't go great.
So what if you can recall back 4.5 years ago, what was in your headspace? Where did you think you were with a few weeks till USA's?
I think I'm 31 years old in this race. The next oldest guy in the race might be 25 or 26. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, am I too old to do this still? Am I too old to hang with these youngsters? I knew that a lot of times when I was preparing for a season, the early races, even in the very prime of my career, 24, 25 years of age, the early races didn't go well because I would train through them. And I was stronger and maybe not sharp enough to really run a great middle distance race. So I'm trying in the back of my head to not panic that the first few races didn't go well. Not panic that, I was too old. Just say, hey, this is how I progress throughout a season. It's okay to get your butt kicked in April so long as you're on when it counts. Here we come through 800, 2 minutes flat. That's right where we want to be, right? If I'm trying to run 3:59 for the mile. I want to go 60, 60, 60, 59. That's the easiest way to physiologically run sub-4 in the mile.
So when you come through at 2 flat and you're a guy who's run 142, are you hurting at this point?
Yeah, that's a misconception. They're like, well, you're a 142 guy too, should feel easy.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Like physiologically, yeah, if you looked at my blood, it's not in the kind of place that it would be if I was running an all-out 8.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. I have only come halfway. I still have 2 full laps. This feels like a marathon to an 800 guy.
And I want to pause it right here if we can, Alon, and just back it up just here. The pacer just stepped off, the last pacer.
And they did a great job.
You're in the lead. What are you thinking with, I don't know, what is this, 600 to go?
I'm thinking I really don't want to lead the last 600. Yeah. So you'll actually see as we come through, I don't want to be in the lead. It's a lot of work to do that, especially 600 out. Like, if we're going to get this race going, and I know there's a lot of other people in this race that are chasing qualifiers or want to break 4, I need some help. And so fortunately, I can't remember who this guy is in number 1 position here, but he's going to come up. I think that's Lassiter. I'm not going to give it away, but he comes up on my shoulder and actually helps out a lot. This is a great example. One of the things I love most about middle distance running, it's people helping each other out. He's chasing a qualifier, I'm chasing a sub-4 time. We're willing to trade a little bit of that lead and help each other out, try to accomplish those goals.
So we talked about the 2 minutes, your relative pain at that point compared to your 800. What are you feeling at 1200?
Fortunately, when I get to maybe 1,200 meters or even 1,300 meters, this is my sweet spot, right? This is where I really excel. When it hurts, I'm able to dig deep. I'm able to find those gears to finish it out. Here with 200 meters to go, I'm giving you everything I got. I just have to hope that it's enough. These milers have the strength that maybe I don't have, but I have the speed that they don't have. So I'm trying to put some distance between me and them before the last 100. When you hit that last 100, there's not a whole lot you can do. It's every man for himself. You just have to hope that you have enough to get to the finish line. Here's a Lassiter, the tall guy with the number 1 bib. He has a fantastic closing kick. Yeah.
He does pass it here. We'll watch the finish line. I want to go back to, if we can, Elon, rewind it about 100 meters to the final stretch. Yeah. That's a point in the race where you've made a lot of money, I guess you could say, in your career in the 800.
Yeah.
How does the last 100 of a mile compare to the last 100 of an 800 for you?
I almost never ever want to be leading an 8 until I get to the last 100 meters, right? It's just an unforgiving event. There's only one person I know that can successfully go wire to wire every race, and that's David Rudisha. Yeah. Everybody else probably wants to be in what I call the pole position, right? So they're right on the outside shoulder. That's where I really made my money, was being off the leader's shoulder with 100 to go, using that slingshot coming off the corner, and then just throwing down. One coach told me, you want to embarrass people in the last 100 by how much distance you put on them. Yeah. And unfortunately, I'm the one being embarrassed in this race, as Lassiter drops me and he goes 3:58. I actually sneak in 3:59.5. It hurts to get beat no matter what, but when I see the time on the board, I'm just so happy that I've run my first sub-4 minute mile outdoors. And I'm grateful that Lassiter pushed me. Without competition, maybe I wouldn't have gotten under 4. So I'm very appreciative, as I think he is appreciative of me for helping to push him in that last 100 meters.
And as I discussed at the top, 3 weeks later, you went on to many people's surprise to win another U.S. title.
To my own surprise. Yeah. I'm a pragmatist. I know what kind of shape I'm in. I don't BS the media. I don't BS my fans. I say, this is going to be a tough one for me to win when I went to USA's. I ran a season's best in the prelims. I ran a season's best in the semis. I ran a season's best 144 mid to win the US championships. I was as shocked as anybody else. And I think even my coach and my rep at Brooks were just like, how did you pull that one out? Yeah. Sometimes, especially in mid-distance, the veterans are the ones that win races because they know how to meter out their energy, not just in a tactical 800 or 1500, but they know how to meter out their energy throughout 3 full rounds.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much to Nick for giving us that insight.
Wish I could still do this. Like you young athletes out there, savor every moment, because this is what it's all about. It's such an incredible opportunity to step on the track and do something you've never done before. And every single time you step on the track, it's an opportunity to do something you've never done before and potentially change your life. When I ran Music City in 2006 and punched my ticket to USA's, that's what launched my pro career.
Yeah. Yeah, so awesome to get that look inside to see how the sausage is made, really.
Yeah, exactly.
So thanks to Nick, and thanks for you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned for more coming up on the site.
Thanks, guys.